So last week I was in New Orleans for the CMLS conference. For those of you that may not be familiar with that one, it's the Council of MLS Executives, MLS Managers, and I had the good fortune to be there on behalf of Northwest Ohio Realtors and Norris MLS. One of my big takeaways from that meeting was that we as an industry need to get better and do better with the concept of buyer's agency. Buyer's agency is here to stay. In fact, there's a good chance that buyer's agency will be a required relationship from a contract standpoint in our state, Ohio. There's also a good chance that going forward, if you want to be sure as to what you're going to receive on a transaction, you're going to need a buyer's agency agreement to help you get to that compensation factor without having to go through lots of hoops and negotiations. All of that said, drill down and get good with buyer's agency and buyer's agency representation. Take the ABR class if you don't already have your ABR. Get into some training and some education. I know, many associations are doing a lot of training and doing a lot of workshops on buyer's agency. Spend the time, get good at it. Learn some new dialogues. Learn how to explain buyer's agency and what your value is in that transaction, and why compensating you fairly for the value that you're bringing to the transaction has never been more important. Get good at it. Get comfortable with it. Practice. Partner up with somebody and maybe role play back and forth and get good with objections and objection handling. I wish that our industry was as good with buyer's agency appointments as we are with listing appointments. I feel like that's the direction that the industry is moving, and whatever we can do to help get our members, our associates, our colleagues prepared for what's ahead of us will ultimately benefit the entire industry. Lean into buyer's agency. Don't be afraid of it. Get good at it, and your future self will thank you for it when that time comes. Thanks for being here.